we first met Theo, we knew the background, that she had been under the hood of a car for, approximately a 60-mile trip from the Fort Collins area down to Denver. And when she first came in, she had what looked to be some minor wounds on the pads of her paws and some bruising on her abdomen. But after monitoring her for a few days, the wounds really became a lot more severe, and it became clear to us that she had injuries that we call thermal burn, which is essentially a kind of burn that happens when skin sits against a hot surface, like the engine of a car, for a long period of time.
She had to have bandages on her back legs because her pads on her bottoms of her feet were still really, really burned. So she needed to have bandage changes every other day.
When I found out what happened to Theodora, my heart broke. I really went to the Humane Society to find a little kitten, and I saw her in the cage, and I just thought she was the prettiest cat that I'd ever seen. It was weird to say that about a cat, but it was love at first sight. But then also in the description, after they told me about her injuries, they also told me about her foster parents and how her foster parents kind of give a little bit of her personality and how she loved to be pet. And then I remember the lady who was reading her document says, and sometimes I even like to be held like a baby. And I thought, a cat that loves to be held like a baby, like I want to hold a cat like a baby. And I remember the lady who was helping me to adopt Theo, when she put her into the cage, she said, "You're going home." And so the Humane Society really wants these animals to find good forever homes.
Before Jeter, I was Army for 2 years, and then they put you through a test to see if you have PTSD, and I ended up scoring a 2 out of 4 on their charts.
Jason is a really fun-loving person. He's very calm, kind of mild-mannered, quiet, shy, animal lover deluxe. Kind of through his growing up years, he decided he was going to choose the military route. And so from about 9th grade on, we pretty much knew that that was the road he was going to choose. The day he left for the military, kind of as a mom, saw the fear on his face that I didn't think I would see because he was being so tough. Sorry. But I saw it that day, and I knew it was going to be a tougher road for him than what he thought it was going to be and what he was trying to convince me that it was going to be.
Experienced mainly a lot of training. Basically simulated what war would be like, which was, it got pretty intense. The training stuff they have nowadays is pretty realistic.
Those depressing letters that were coming home and phone calls that were very, very much that same way. And we just watched that progress through this whole thing, and just him get more and more depressed, more and more angry. And Jason was never an angry person. It was hard to hear your child, who's been this other way all his life, be so angry and bitter and depressed.
It got to that, I just had that point where I'm just like, I don't want this to hurt anymore, so, I gotta end it.
When he came home for Easter, he was just so depressed, so sad. He went downstairs, and when he first went downstairs, I thought, he just needs a minute. There was really no reason for him to be down there. And so after about 10 minutes, I went down there, and he just wasn't okay. He was hanging there.
And then they got me to the hospital, and it was almost like it was the support that I needed all along.
When it came down to after the suicide and them coming and taking him back, we weren't sure he was going to make it home. So for us, we were trying to encourage him to get home to adopt a dog. That was our goal, was having him focus on that. And
she says, I did something about a month ago, and I don't know that you're going to be happy with me about this. So at that point, I was like, okay, what's going on? What'd you do? And she's like, I don't know how to tell you, so I'm gonna send you a text. And then I get this picture of Jeter. Say hello to your new best friend. We got you a puppy. And that was like a huge relief coming off me. I still have depression kind of spells, I guess you call them. But you come home, and then there's your dog, and he's just there for you. And it's funny because they sense that kind of stuff. Now that I have him, it's just, I always have that compassion now, that friend.
When he got home and saw him for the first time, it was just elation. I think Jason was more excited to see him than us, to be honest with you, because he knew he had a forever friend, which is, I think, what he was looking for. And Jeter loves him, and he loves Jeter.
If they would never found him, who knows where I'd be right now if we didn't have that. So having a foundation that will help and save animals that in turn save people is just, now, there's no words to describe it.